In very simple terms, again, we want to say, if you don't let yourself stay up to speed with what your life is causing you and the greater you to become, then you don't feel so good. And that's what resistance is, you see. So the more you live life, the more contrast helps you to know what you don't want, which causes you to know what you do want. And each of those rockets, we like to say, becomes a part of this vibrational escrow that the source energy part of you is not only tending to, but has become. So then it follows that the art of allowing must be something about listening for that call of source and going in the direction of that call of source. We want to help you to realize that when you get into the flow of that energy cycle that is you feel such exhilaration. And when you try to hold yourself apart from the flow, you don't feel so good. Imagine taking your canoe down to the river's edge and you get your boat in the water. And then, if you are like most humans, you deliberately point it upstream and begin paddling really, really hard. And we say to you, you might want to turn that boat around and go with the flow. And humans say, after considering it for a second, oh, Abraham, that just seems lazy. And we say, but how long can you keep that up? And they say, I don't know, but I'm going to spend this lifetime figuring that out. And then they go on to explain, you see, that's just what we do here. All of the trophies are given to those who paddle hard against the current. And we say, and we so want you to hear this, nothing that you want is upstream. Everything's downstream because your life caused you to ask for it and source became it and is calling you toward it. And when you go in the direction of that call, you're going with the current. And when you're not, you're not. There's no way you're going to paddle upstream. You can try and you can ruin your life doing it. You can keep yourself from going with the flow and you can cause all kinds of trauma in your own experience, mostly in your physical body. But there's no way that you're going to make any headway against this current. And you say to us, that's so strange, Abraham, because all of the trophies and monuments are promised to those who paddle hard against the current. And we've heard that after we die, there are even more, you tell us. And we say, if you will allow yourself, you don't even have to turn and go with the flow. You just have to stop paddling. The current will turn you. We have discovered that many of you have come to believe something that is utterly untrue. Many humans actually believe that there is a stream that moves toward goodness and that there is a stream that moves toward badness. And if you're not vigilant, you could end up in the wrong stream. And we're wanting you to understand there's only one stream that you're letting yourself flow with or not, and you can tell by the way you feel whether you're letting yourself flow with it or not. And so the feeling that you have that there's something bad happening, that there's some bad force, is you pinned up against a rock with the stream flowing rapidly past you and beating you up. In other words, the only reason anybody ever gets sick is because your life, even before you were in this body, had the energy moving fast. Your life in this body got the stream moving even faster. And for some reason, you're fixated on something that's causing you to not go with the flow, and the stream is beating you up. The more you don't go with the flow, the more the stream beats you up. The stream of life is beating me up, you say. Why would a good stream beat me up? Seems like only a bad stream would beat me up. And we say, there's only one stream. There's not a good stream or a bad stream, but when you pin yourself against the rock or you're trying to paddle in resistance to the stream, it takes a toll on your physical body. You never walk into a room and look for a dark switch. And so we want you to begin listening for that call of source. But in order to do that, you have to know that it's a vibrational call and that it translates within you in the form of emotion. You hear source calling you through your emotional center. That's the best way of saying it. Through the living of life and through the living of the contrast in your experience, you are letting your guidance system know where you want to be. And in fact, not only have you let your guidance system know where you want to be, your source energy guidance system has become that which you are wanting to be. In other words, this vibrational escrow that is amassing is including every subtle nuance, every bold statement, everything that your life has caused you to become is there pulsing for you. So now here you are standing over here in the middle of whatever you're doing, beating the drum of whatever you're giving your attention to. And as you are beating the drum of whatever you're giving your attention to, you are activating a vibration within you, which has a vibrational relationship with the vibration of that which you have become. That's how your guidance system works. So when you allow yourself to relax and go in the direction of that which you have become, you feel the ease of that, you see. So as you begin to realize that this stream is always flowing and that you have a relationship with it, and if you will let every moment in time have some sense of awareness of whether you're pointed upstream or downstream, your life will go so much better for you. You see, in every moment, you only have two choices that you could possibly make. And those choices are, as I'm standing right here, I have the choice of feeling worse or feeling better. That's it. Some of you say, well, should I take that job? Should I marry that person? Should I run away with that person? Should I move to that city? And we say, those aren't the choices that we want you to make. We want you to make the choice as whether this thought feels worse or better. Because everything that you've been asking for is already over there in vibrational escrow calling you. You sometimes think that you are creating by making statements right here and now. I want a better paying job. I want a lot more money to come in, and I want to be respected when I'm at work, and I want people to treat me better. And many of you think that those kinds of affirmations and statements and goal setting are what are creating your reality. And we want you to know that's not what's creating your reality. It may be what's allowing the reality that you've already created, but you created your reality through the contrast that you've been living. You created the reality every time you said no to this, the assumed, known by source energy yes was on the other side of that. Don't you know most that you want to be well when you're sick? Don't you know most that you want more abundance when you don't have enough? Don't you know most that you want to be understood when you're misunderstood? Don't you know most that you want to be clear-minded when you're confused? Of course you do. And so as your life causes you to constantly mold this vibrational escrow, now your work is just to be cognizant of where you are in the stream. And we want you to hear us. We're going to say it over and over today. Please don't see it as your work to get your boat turned around and then increase the speed to where you want to go. Just get your boat turned around. The stream will carry you. It is our promise. The stream will carry you. And can you see what happens so often? Imagine being in the stream and you're paddling, so you're not getting to where you want to be. You're paddling. You're tired. You're ornery. You're not getting to where you want to be. Then you go to sleep and you begin moving. Then you wake up and you paddle. Take another course, go to a therapist, join another group, paddle. Get more resolve about how to paddle up the stream. That guy's doing it. He got a trophy. Best-selling book. That guy paddled really hard up. He dug a hole so deep for himself that it took him 5 years to dig out of it. And now he's got a best-selling book. Paddle. And we say, can you feel the difference between not paddling so hard and just trying to find something that causes you to just let go of whatever it is that you've got activated, and then the stream turns you. And then it happens again, but you let go and the stream turns you. Can you begin to get the sense that the more aware you are and the more consistently you are letting go of the resistant thought and letting the stream carry you, that the more you will be carried through the energies of fear and despair into energies of more overwhelmment and frustration, into more energies of hope and belief. And before you know it, you are consistently riding that wave of well-being, so that the gap between where you are and where you want to be is all a really good feeling gap. We want you to understand that it is possible to live in this physical body and to be off this world, which means seeing what's going on in this world and not be paddling against the current. It is absolutely possible for you to look at things in a way that allows the energy to continue to move through you. And that, friends, is really what the art of allowing is. It's learning to allow myself to be in vibrational alignment with this energy stream that is the the greater part of me that is always calling me toward that which I have become. You were source energy before part of you projected into this body. And now you're here. You are having experiences where you know what you don't want, so you're asking for this, and you know what you don't want, so you're asking for this. You like this, you don't like that, you like this, you don't like this. And so you have been building from long before you came into this body, because there was stuff in your vibrational escrow that you put there from your intention, from your non-physical perspective. But now you've been here in this physical experience, in the leading edge of thought, expressing more and more and more. And so this new you, this you has become. And we really want you to hear that. When you ask for something more, the source energy part of you becomes it. The question is, what's the rest of you doing? It's sort of like a two-headed monster. We'd like both heads to get moving in the same direction. So the non-physical part of you has become the expanded you. And all feelings of dissatisfaction, all feelings of unfulfillment, all feelings that you would describe with any form of negative emotion mean without exception, you are not letting yourself stay up to speed with that which life has caused you to become. So we're just here to help you to begin going with the flow while you're here in this physical experience. We want you to begin closing the gap between that which you have become and that which you are allowing yourself to be, because you are supposed to be living a wonderful life. You came forth not to create struggle and trauma in order to overcome it. You came forth to explore variety in order to come to decisions, knowing that the full forces of the universe were there to assist you in the achievement and accomplishment and creation of anything that is important to you. You came into this physical body because you knew the exhilaration of riding that wave, of getting with that current and with that flow. And imagine what it's like when you are on that surfboard and you are riding that wave and life is still causing you to ask for this and this and this and this and this. There is no end to the exaltation and glory of the experience that you can live. There is no end to it, you see. But you got to go with the flow. You cannot go against the flow. You must let yourself be that which life has caused you to become. What is what is, and it's not going to change this red hot minute. What is what is. It is the culmination of what has flowed before. But if you stand in the middle of what is, and you breathe new life into your future experience by flowing downstream rather than pointing upstream, even though what is can't change very much right now, in other words, Esther still had to do the tape. What is will not change, but what's coming next will. Where if you stand in the middle of what you do not like, and you acknowledge why you don't like it, and you're right, of course, you're justified, it's wrong where you're standing. Those bombs dropping is wrong, you say, it's wrong. I can't stand it, it's wrong. But what we want you to understand is, as long as you are fighting against that current, you are not improving what's coming next. And you will not improve what's coming next until you make peace with what is. So what you've been living caused you to ask for things that are in your vibrational escrow. Are you getting the sense of this? Isn't it wonderful to know that you cannot fail? You cannot not succeed. You cannot not get all of the things that you're wanting. And we know this so clearly because we know all of the things that you're wanting. We not only have seen them, we are them. We are pulsing them. We are calling you toward them. And when you let yourself begin to go in the slightest little way, you feel the relief that is your indicator that you're moving in the right direction. If you just keep that up, you got to get there. And you know what? As you begin doing that, getting there becomes less and less relevant because you're having such a good time in the stream. And we're always careful at what point we tell you that, because you always say, oh, Abraham, we get you. You're just teaching us to be happy without the things we want. And we say, pretty much. Because if you'll be happy without the things you want, then you're happy. And that's what you really want. And that's why you want all the things you think you want. It's because you want to be happy. So if we can teach you to be happy without all the things you want, we've done good, yes? But then you've got to get the things you want. You can't not get to those things once you get happy in the stream. Nothing more ever needs to be said about anything. We've just given you the total scheme of life, from who you really are to who you are becoming, to that which you are letting or not letting, letting or not letting, letting or not letting, letting yourself become. In other words, that's the cycle of life, and it is eternal. And since it is eternal, don't you think that it is really worth saying, okay, I'm always going to be on my way somewhere. Maybe it's time for me to make peace with where I am, because there's always going to be some place I'm going that I'm not yet at. Yes? So if I'm making peace with where I am and feeling good where I am, haven't you just figured out the secret of your eternal life? We think so.